From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
And now at 11, RTV6 is working for you with everything you need to know about the COVID-19 pandemic. Good evening. I'm Amanda Starantino.
And I'm Mark Mullins. Once again, I'm bringing you the news from my home as part of RTV6's social distancing efforts. Well, today, Indianapolis Mayor Joe Hogsett extended Marion County's stay-at-home order through May 1st. That's close to the federal extension, which goes through April 30th. And when it comes to the toll the virus is taking on human lives, here is the latest information in Indiana. 65 deaths are blamed on COVID-19. There have been more than 2,500 cases. More than 14,000 people have been tested.
A local nurse is sharing an eye-opening look into 48 hours spent treating coronavirus patients at IU Health. Her Facebook post and plea for people to take the outbreak seriously has been shared almost 9,000 times and counting. RTV6's Cornelia Hawker spoke with the woman who says she hopes people realize things won't get back to normal until everyone works together to slow the spread of the virus.
Originally, it wasn't even public. I had just made it just to my Facebook friends, and I think one of the first few people that commented and said, "Hey, can I share this?" And I thought, okay.
Tarina Bradley's decision to publicly share her thoughts is carrying her message to thousands of people.
I really didn't expect it to be shared like it has been.
She describes talking to a patient who's asking if he's going to die, letting a married couple FaceTime each other to ease their worries, seeing her colleagues afraid and crying, shedding tears right along with them. If all that wasn't emotionally draining enough, Tarina then has to come home and face her family. She has 4 kids. Her youngest are 5 and 7.
My boys especially, they want to run up and hug me as soon as I walk in the door from work. And normally that's not a big deal, but these days it is. And I have to, tell them to back up and, yell at them and say, don't touch me, don't touch me. And I mean, it's just sad. It's hard. It's hard for them to understand why.
Tarina knows there's going to be many more rough shifts ahead. Some of her coworkers have been infected, and she, along with so many others, are worried they could be next and take it home to their families. That's why Tarina is hoping you take the time to listen to her story and do your part to stop the spread of coronavirus.
If people don't listen and start doing what they're supposed to be doing, it's going to last a long time. It'll be into the summer. I mean, a lot longer than people want.
And that was Cornelia Hawker reporting. We definitely thank all those nurses doing what they're doing. IU Health says they have enough protective equipment, ICU beds, and ventilators, anticipating the surge of patients they expect to see in the coming weeks.
Indiana's coronavirus numbers will continue to rise as more people get tested. RTV6's Cameron Riddle shows you why the state is adding to the list of people who qualify for a coronavirus test.
For the first time, state officials are expanding coronavirus testing. That's good news for pregnant women and patients with medical conditions who may be high risk but don't need to stay in the hospital.
Because of their diabetes, their immunocompromise. We further clarified that pregnant women are considered in that group and need to be tested. Individuals that have high blood pressure or other medical conditions that place them at risk.
The new guidelines come thanks to an increase in test kits from a number of companies, including 3,000 from Eli Lilly. In addition to expanded testing, Indiana now joins a list of states doing rapid testing. 15 rapid test machines will be headed to Indiana hospitals. Tonight, state officials are crafting a plan on where to send them. State Health Commissioner Dr. Christina Box says the increase in testing puts more power into the hands of doctors.
We want our providers to be the ones working with patients to decide who needs to be tested. This, again, will allow us to test more of our high-risk individuals across the state of Indiana, ensuring that while we have these finite supplies, that we are testing our most appropriate population.
As the testing increases, more positive cases will pop up. Governor Eric Holcomb says the state is preparing for that, but begs Hoosiers not to make the job any harder.
So let me just make yet another direct appeal to anyone out there who feels as if they are immortal. We know that COVID-19, this coronavirus, does not discriminate. We know that it can infect the healthy. It can infect the young. Maybe you won't be infected, but we know that it will use you to kill others.
Working for you in Indianapolis, Cameron Riddle, RTV6.
Beginning tomorrow, Indianapolis and the Marion County Health Department are setting up drive-through coronavirus testing for essential workers who have been screened and registered. That includes corrections officers, air traffic controllers, veterinarians, utility workers, and more. And the city of Carmel is providing testing for Carmel firefighters and police officers, plus city employees who work with the public. You can learn more information on how to register and who can get tested at our website, theindychannel.com.
Government officials, businesses, and community partners are teaming up for a statewide public service announcement encouraging you to help flatten the curve. That includes Pacers star Victor Oladipo.
But most importantly, man, I'm just here to encourage us to continue to do whatever we can to stop COVID-19 from spreading. Obviously, you know, it's a very interesting pandemic going on in our country today, in our world, honestly, and we have to work together in order to kind of prevent this and slow this disease down.
Other supporters of the In This Together campaign include the Pacers, Fever, IU, Purdue, the Indianapolis Zoo, Eli Lilly, and many more. The goal is to help Hoosiers understand the importance of social distancing. Mayor Joe Hogsett says everyone can do a little more.
Well, we wouldn't be involved in this public awareness campaign if we didn't think that more people needed to become more committed than they already are to these types of techniques. But I will tell you that while I don't leave the house as often as I normally would in day-to-day operations, when I've come to and from my home, I've noticed a considerable decrease in traffic, in pedestrian traffic, as well as people just generally being outside. So I do think that for the most part, people are aware, but this campaign is designed to encourage people to double down.
The campaign includes these tips. Stay home. Officials say that's the best way you can help healthcare workers and first responders. Avoid close physical contact. Remember to stay at least 6 feet apart from other people. And stay connected with friends and loved ones, whether by video conferencing, texting, calling, or even writing a letter. And take care of yourself. That includes physically and mentally. And support the community. Look for creative ways to serve others.
Social distancing is impossible inside of Indiana jails and prisons, and that's why the American Civil Liberties Union says a petition filed with the Supreme Court. The ACLU is asking for certain people in correctional facilities to be released amid the pandemic. RTV6 spoke to the mother of an inmate who is scared for her son's safety. She asked not to be identified, but says her son's serving time for a nonviolent offense.
The prisoners have nothing to fight this virus where they are. They're all confined. They all have to go eat together. They all have to do everything together, sleep together, everything.
We're not asking that the doors be unlocked and all prisoners be removed. We're asking that existing processes be sped up to determine if there are prisoners there who can safely be removed.
Earlier this week, state leaders said they received a copy of the petition filed by the ACLU. A spokesperson says officials are taking all the precautions they can and will continue to evaluate and adjust as needed. We reached out to the Department of Corrections for more specific details, but have not yet heard back.
The coronavirus outbreak is keeping the Indiana Department of Labor busy. It has received more than 1,000 complaints in the past few weeks from workers and citizens related to COVID-19. The department usually gets around 1,200 complaints in an entire year. Nearly 800 of the recent concerns were questions about whether a business is considered essential or non-essential. But some complaints included things like businesses not providing hand sanitizer and employees not being informed that a coworker tested positive. The Indiana Occupational Safety and Health Administration has created a specific COVID-19 complaint form for workers. You can find a link on our website at theindychannel.com.
Some places that are still open for business are taking extra steps to protect the health and safety of customers and employees. Giant Eagle, which owns Market District in Carmel and all 63 Get-Go locations, has added plexiglass to each register. The company says it's a way to respect social distancing guidelines when a 6-foot distance is not possible. There are also decals on the ground now so customers keep space between them while waiting in line. And employees are constantly sanitizing.
Have my gloves on. Wash my hands before I go in there. They actually, when they handed me the cart, they said they just cleaned off the cart.
Giant Eagle is hiring hundreds of people as demand grows, and the company is offering bonus pay for current and future team members. We have a link to apply to on our website. That's at hiringhoosiers.com. There you'll also find many other job opportunities as well.
The longer kids are out of school, the tougher it could get to provide families in need with meals. And today, the Wayne Township School Superintendent said the district ran out of food at 3 sites, and some families had to be turned away. This was the scene on Monday at one of the district's distribution locations. In a message posted on social media, Dr. Jeff Butts said it is becoming more challenging to get approved food to serve. We will continue to follow this development and check in to see if other districts are facing the same challenges.
Governor Holcomb is expected to announce in the next 24 hours whether Indiana students will return to class this school year. The transition to e-learning can be tough for families. So RTV6's Troy Washington is working for you with a look at a resource available for parents who are taking on teaching while social distancing.
Teaching is looking a little bit different these days.
I know a lot of parents obviously have kind of been thrust into this e-learning at-home instruction.
A lot of families come to us with their e-learning struggles, not understanding what their children might be learning in school.
Sylvan Learning is trying to help those families adjusting to the new normal for right now as school doors stay shut due to trying to slow down the spread of COVID-19.
It's a challenging time for everyone. It's nothing any of us have seen before.
That's why Sylvan is adjusting to the times. The Learning Center is using its virtual resources to keep students on task and learning even though they're outside of the classroom.
We've shifted all of our sessions to a live online format.
They tell RTV6 instructors are familiar with what students should be learning right now, and there's nothing wrong with admitting some coursework is tough for parents to grasp.
I have 5 kids all of a sudden at home that have to e-learn between grades 3 through 7th, and one of them is in an upper level math, and there's no shame in not understanding what she's doing.
Working for you, Troy Washington, RTV6.
Well, Sylvan Learning Center is also offering a discount right now to parents. You can find a list of learning resources in this story at theindychannel.com and on the RTV6 app.
If you want to work together to give back to the community during the COVID-19 pandemic but do not know where to start, the United Way wants to help.
Temperature trend headed up over the next several days. We'll talk about the warming trend and your weekend forecast details next.
Make a donation or volunteer today.
From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
Now to the nationwide impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. Nearly all states are advising residents to stay home as the number of confirmed cases continues to grow. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has the latest on where the U.S. stands in the fight against the virus.
Across the U.S., more than 5,000 deaths now reported from COVID-19, a startling surge from just 1 month ago when the virus had killed just 1 American. Vice President Mike Pence saying White House modeling suggests the situation in hard-hit Italy may be the most comparable area to the United States. And President Donald Trump underscoring the immediate threat.
Difficult days are ahead for our nation. We're going to have a couple of weeks starting pretty much now, but especially a few days from now that are going to be horrific.
Some healthcare facilities in New York City, like Mount Sinai Hospital, pushed to the limits.
All these patients here sitting out in the hallways because we are full.
And now this field hospital set up in Central Park to treat the growing number of coronavirus patients. Stay-at-home orders in place there and in most other states, including Florida, where 2 Holland America cruise ships are off the coast awaiting clearance to dock. Between them, more than 200 passengers are reporting symptoms and 4 have died. The governor for now only committing to allowing Floridians on board into the state.
There's no time. These people need to get off the ship.
In Louisiana, urgent concerns as cases surge and nearly a third of hospitalized patients are now on ventilators.
If these numbers continue, we will be maxed out at hospitals and ventilators by the end of the weekend.
And in Connecticut, a devastating update. A 6-week-old baby, now the youngest known American to die of complications from the virus. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles. And while there is a lot of devastation surrounding the coronavirus pandemic, people are also lifting each other up. RTV6 is highlighting the ways Hoosiers are working together during the outbreak. Many of you have asked how you can get to work helping others in your community. And if you're healthy and low risk, we found opportunities for you to lend a hand. United Way of Central Indiana is working closely with local organizations that have an urgent need for volunteers during this coronavirus pandemic. There are hands-on options with food pantries and homeless shelters, and we also found opportunities to help from your home with telephone reassurance, for instance, for senior service organizations.
It creates a unique situation for everyone, I think. But the idea then being if you can volunteer, and in times like these where you feel, some sort of way to give back, and we encourage you to just keep looking at our page for updates. And that'll usually have the most updated information in terms of A, who's accepting volunteers, and B, if you're able to or not based on your unique situation.
The United Way of Central Indiana asks that if you do choose to volunteer, to keep social distancing in mind. Solo volunteer opportunities like delivering food to someone's home are just as important as group events. And of course, stay home if you feel sick. There are also several ways you can virtually volunteer as well. You can find a link of volunteer opportunities that the United Way updates daily at theindychannel.com.
And one way you can volunteer is by giving blood. A blood drive will be held in Plainfield on April 22nd, similar to the one that was held today. The town partnered with the Versiti Blood Center and the shops at Perry Crossing to host the event. The coronavirus outbreak has forced many donation drives to cancel, leading to a growing need for blood. Health and safety protocols are being followed to protect donors and staff. That includes social distancing. The blood drive on the 22nd will also be held at the shops at Perry Crossing. A sign of support for medical professionals outside many Indiana homes tonight. Let There Be Light is an effort organized on social media, encouraging people to put luminaries or candles outside of their homes. We spotted a few in Irvington, and people across the country participated as well. We want to hear more stories of Hoosiers working together during this tough time. Share the positive efforts going on in your community by emailing us at workingforyou@rtv6.com.
How about that? A late day ray of sunshine. More than that, this is a beautiful shot from the east side looking west, obviously. Amanda Starantino. I recognize that name. Took this photo
I feel so
tonight.
special.
Yeah, well, it's a great picture, and it's foreshadowing the sunshine that's on the way for tomorrow. Tomorrow's temperature responds to the sunshine up to 60, but that's nothing compared to the mid-70s. That's ahead as we get into early next week. Definitely a spring feel will return. With that will be a chance for showers daily early next week. Okay, the gray represents the cloud cover that's been eroding here through the evening hours. That will give us a clear sky overnight and set the stage for the sunshine tomorrow. Now, we could have some patchy light fog. I don't think it'll be a big deal, but with the light wind and the ground moist, we'll keep that mentioned there. 40 in Fishers to 40 in Greenwood. Temperatures a little warmer in Edinburgh at 47. We broadened the view. Everybody's still in the 40s. Where's the warmer air going to come from? Out to the west. Look at the surge in warmth. 50 in Minneapolis, almost 60 at this hour in Kansas City. Temperature in Springfield, Missouri at 61 degrees through the morning hours tomorrow. Temperatures quite cool to start. Then in the afternoon, we'll be a little more on the mild side. 44 by mid-morning tomorrow. Highs struggle to hit 60s in the northern portion of the viewing area. Vedersburg to Anderson and Muncie north upper 50s. There's your central Indiana I-70 temperature range around 60 to the lower 60s as you get into southern portions of central Indiana. We're dry tomorrow. We have more sunshine on the way as we get to Friday. Temperatures just a little warmer, 64 degrees. Talk about the changes that arrive for the weekend in a second, but your Friday hourly forecast, 58 at noon, 64 for the afternoon high temperature. Temperatures will warm into the low to mid 60s in the southwest portion of the state to end the work week. Average highs 58. 11 o'clock Friday night, still dry. The cloud cover increases overnight. Our rain chances will increase during the day Saturday. Not expecting widespread or heavy rainfall. Temperatures pretty much stuck in the 60s Saturday and on Sunday. Any chance of rain Sunday comes early in the day, and the rainfall intensity will be on the lighter side compared to where we were last weekend. And as you can see right now, forecast models have 1/4 of an inch or less for rainfall amounts. Temperatures, they build momentum as we go through the end of the work week. Then we have our chance for showers Saturday, basically dry Sunday. A daily chance for showers Monday through Wednesday, but temperatures in the 70s, that's the trade-off.
Well, the show must go on, but not in the traditional way. Coming up, the unique approach one local group took to bring one final show to their audience and how they're staying ready to open for a new season.
Mix and match 2 for $5.
Feed your belly.
From the station working for you, this is an RTV6 special report.
The lights are out for now at local theaters, concert halls, and other performance venues, but the curtains are not closed for good. RTV6's Brad Brown reports the spirit of the show remains open at one Indianapolis organization.
The Indiana Repertory Theater calls one of downtown Indy's most historic buildings home. As the state ordered businesses shut down, IRT was able, at least for a moment, to go with the old adage that the show must go on.
I believe it was the 14th that we decided to move forward with having that weekend's performances of houses under 250 or less. We were having very close to sell out performances, which was just amazing. And so I have never been so saddened, but also relieved to have under 250 people in those houses that second weekend of the run.
The final performances of Murder on the Orient Express did happen, but the governor's stay-at-home order cut IRT's season short. The curtain would still go up, though, on one final show. IRT teamed up with WFYI to film that closing night performance. You can purchase a link to watch that production online now through Friday.
And it was probably the saddest, uplifting but yet saddest closing that we've had, because you don't expect to close two months into before your season's supposed to end.
2 other plays on the schedule had to be scrapped, and much like many other arts organizations, IRT will be facing some tight times in the weeks ahead.
We're holding on to the positives right now for a institution that is closed. We are certainly still very busy closing the season and planning next season.
They are already looking forward to the 2020-21 season.
People can support us by purchasing season tickets for next year. Also, you can donate, and that donation will help us to ensure that we are keeping the lights on now, even though the theater lights are not on, but that on into the future, on into next season.
Soon, the lights will go up again, and IRT will be more than ready for showtime. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
Thanks, Brad. And we're open. Indy is RTV6's commitment to sharing stories from businesses staying open during the COVID-19 pandemic. Go to our website, theindychannel.com, click on the We're Open Indy link, and there you'll find a list of businesses that are still serving you. We'll be right back. And once again, we brought you a lot of info tonight regarding the coronavirus, the fight to contain it, and the impact on lives and the economy. You can find everything you need to know anytime on our website at theindychannel.com/coronavirus. Kevin.
And we'll take one more step into the month of April. Temperatures tomorrow in the morning in the 30s. We warm to 60 tomorrow afternoon. Enjoy some sunshine. Mark?
Looking forward to it, Kevin. Thank you. And thank you for making RTV6 your choice for news. Good morning, Indiana. Comes your way at 4:30 a.m. Have a good night, everybody.